Please join me in welcoming Faraz Khorsan, the president of Lakehead Student Union. Welcome, Faraz, and thank you so much for your time.
Hi, Roopa. Thank you so much for having me today, and hi to the viewers. Really enjoying to be here and talk today.
Faraz, did I get your surname right? And how do you greet? Tell me in your language, in your traditional ethnic language.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, my surname is Khorsandi, which you were completely right, and I speak Farsi. So in Farsi we say salam, and we also say durud. So those are the two ways that we say hi.
So you just say salam and durud.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so salam, Faraz.
Salam, Roopa.
So Faraz, where are you from? How did you find Thunder Bay?
It's a funny story, actually. So I come from the Middle East. I come from Iran, Isfahan. It's my hometown. And it was in 2022 when I decided to come to Canada to study and continue my academics here. Things were not going well, as you may have known in the Middle East, and as well now. So I gave myself a shot to come to Canada, continue, and so Lakehead was one of the universities that I got into, and my parents were really supportive, and they told me, you know what, go and try your luck and go to Canada. So I came in September 2022, and for me it was a big change because I come from a really big city of 3 to 4 million people.
You're telling me.
Yeah, exactly. And so coming to Canada and to Thunder Bay specifically, I remember the first night it was hard for me to find a cab. I had to wait 30 minutes in the airport, and there were no places open to grab food or anything like that. So it was different. And then getting to know the community and getting to study a little bit and finding my way in Thunder Bay kind of made me fall in love with the city. And now I call Thunder Bay my home.
So September, you said you came in September, so the winter hit you right away.
Exactly. That was another thing. So the weather is way different. In Aswan, we're kind of like a desert city, so it's plus 35 to 45 during summer, and we usually don't get below zero. Yeah. Now you come to Thunder Bay, you're minus 40, minus 35, you got all the snow. And for many, including myself, it's 80 degrees difference. Sure. And so the first year was a little bit hard to kind of get used to it, but with the help of the community, with good advice, good clothing, I was able to go through that. And then as soon as I got a vehicle, things really changed.
You got wheels.
Exactly. So, I got used to it. And now if it goes above 20, I start sweating, which, which never happens. Exactly.
I can relate to that. So for us, you have acclimatized well, yeah? You've done well.
Exactly.
Very
good. Yes.
So what are you studying? So you came as an international student?
Yes.
And so what are you studying?
I came in as a Master of Science student in Civil Engineering, and I actually graduated last December. So it's been a year since I graduated, and it was a different experience. Things in Iran, I did my undergrad in Iran. It was in civil engineering, and the way that we study is a little bit different than what I encountered in Lakehead. And being, again, you have that close relations with your lecturers, your friends. You do everything in a group setting, which I really enjoyed, compared to Iran, which we were more, it was a little bit tougher, I would say.
Oh.
Yes, because it's more on the academic side. You focus more on, learning and experiencing and being in the class, whereas over here you have, all the other experiences to indulge in. And it kind of balances things off, which I really like.
Overall, very grounded experience. I understand. Okay. Exactly. And then you became the Student Union president. How did that happen? What was the motivation? What was the drive?
So that's an interesting story. I started working when I came to Thunder Bay. I started working at LCBO, and then that was my first general job. And as an international student, I wanted to do something on the side to kind of pay my tuition and basically just live Canada. So later on, I started working in international student services as an international student assistant. And it was in the middle of my term over there, where I think it was 2 years ago in the winter time, and we had influx of internationals coming, to Thunder Bay for the first time, and close to 40 of them in a period of 2 to 4 weeks were homeless. They were having issues, exactly. They were having issues finding places. And it was, again, in that time that we had a lot of internationals coming to Canada. And so that rang a bell, and I was like, well, this is not a way to go. I have to help these people. And so I started, in my position, talking to people with power, people in the university outside, trying to advocate for the students and trying to help them, find places and, again, help them through their journey in Lakehead. But then I was like, is my voice, high enough? Is it getting to places? Should I run for a position? Should I put myself in a position that I can help more people? And so, that pushed me to run for the president position because I was on the board.
Oh, you were already
I was on the board of
okay.
director, but that's a voluntary position, and I would, bring up all these issues to all the executives and, the board as well. But I felt like, what, I can do more. So I ran, and that was on my agenda to advocate for the housing crisis and to advocate for food insecurity. Those were the two things that were affecting not only international students, but the general population, the general student body in Lakehead. So yeah, that was a major factor, and I ran, and I ran again, and gave me good opportunities to talk and collaborate with many people on campus, and so that was the start of my story. Lakehead
Interesting.
University.
And Faraz, how many international students do we have?
We have around 1,800 to 2,000 students who are international, and that's also counting in our Aurelia campus. And the number, exactly.
The Aurelia campus as well.
Exactly. Okay. So Lakehead as a full. We do have one campus on Aurelia, and also in one in Thunder Bay. And so count both, it will be around 1,800 to 2,000. But it fluctuates based on, the new regulations. You have lesser, some years you have more, but around those numbers.
And is it possible for you to break down, give a composition of where these students are from?
It changes every year based on my understanding. For example, this year I've seen a lot of Asian students on campus. I've seen a lot of people coming from India. That's probably something that is constant. A lot of students come from India. For example, this year we had less Persian students, whereas last year and the year before we had a lot of people from Iran. And so it changes based on the number of visas that international students get and the regulations. But I would say mostly on the Chinese and Asian side and Indian side we have more, and then it will be Persians and some students also from Europe. They come for a semester. Exactly, they come. They're exchange students. They come in, they study.
And Africa as well.
Exactly,
we see a lot of African students. That's such an interesting. Kaleidoscope of so many interesting, diverse communities in the campus itself.
Exactly, and that's again adding to that. I think when you come to Thunder Bay, it's a little bit far from Southern Ontario, so the population, the diversity is less. But now with international students coming in, we can see how diverse our campus has been.
Very true. How do you balance all of these? Your academic life, your student life, being the president, and servicing about 2,000 students.
So. It was a hard lesson for me because, I had to learn it the hard way because, as a student, when you come in, it's a new atmosphere as an international student. It's a new atmosphere. Everything changes what you had, back home. You're speaking your own language. You come, so you have to speak in English. All the things change. So the banking system are different. The academics are different. The way people interact are different. And so it's a big learning curve for many. Exactly. And finding that balance is really important, as you mentioned. And it was through mentors and my friends, and also experience, that I got a chance to understand where that sweet spot is for me. Because sometimes I was really indulgent in, say, academics. I was not doing any sports or spending time with friends, and that would be really mentally straining on me. But then later on, I could find, I understood that, okay, if you're studying, you'll have to spend some time having fun, going out with friends, enjoying your life. And it's not about always studying. And later when I went to LUSA as well, then, it was not only my issues and concerns, it was like 10,000 other students who had their issues, and it amplified that sense. But, I think experience and having friends around works for me, and exactly
having the right people around you.
Exactly.
On that note, for us, we'll take a very short break. Dear viewers, stay tuned. There's so much more to know and learn about Lakehead University Student Union. Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Global Vibes, and my guest today is Faraz, who is the president of the Lakehead University Student Union. So Faraz, you gave us a wonderful, your life journey about how you found Thunder Bay, Lakehead University, your program, your course of your academic study, etc., and how you became the president of Lakehead Union, Lakehead Student Union. Now, please tell me, how does this work? How does Lakehead University Student Union work? Is it a part of the Lakehead University, or is it a separate entity? How does this work?
You're actually a separate entity that we work and collaborate alongside the organization, which is Lakehead University. Our motto is for the students, by the students. Mm-hmm. So we're from the heart of students, and we're a union that takes care of the students, of their matters and issues. How we run is we do have annual elections. Mm. So every year we have board opportunities and board of directors positions for people run for those positions, and then also executives. So we have 4 executives: president, myself, VP of advocacy, VP of finance, and another position in Aurelia, so VP Aurelia.
So the tenure for all of these
is a year tenure, is year of time, and sometimes we have people, they drop out, and we do by-elections as well. Yeah, okay. But it's a heavy position, so there's some people, and but usually it's an annual election and then the board decides, and the board, the motions gets passed through the boards, and the executives execute. So that's how usually.
So everything is independent, and then do you have to be also working closely with the administration?
Exactly. And on the other side as well, we do have businesses and the staff side of LUSU. So for example, the Outpost, which is the pub, and also the study, fall under LUSU. We also have businesses in the Burlaskin building, the law building. We also have a coffee shop there as well. So the bike shack as well falls under LUSU. Wow. So we operate these businesses with our staff, and then we have the student part, which is...
so these are all businesses within the Lakehead.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, with LUSU, yes. So we operate them, and the money and the proceedings go towards the students.
The operations.
Exactly. Because you're a non-for-profit organization, so everything that comes goes back to the students.
So you have been in this position for how long?
For a year and a half, I would say now. I ran for by-elections first, and then because I was really, passionate about students and issues, and I ran again last year. So my term will end in another 5 months.
You mentioned issues. What are those passionate issues or challenges that you have faced yourself, plus what you are servicing to the students of Lakehead?
Absolutely. So I think the housing crisis was something that affected many students, and not only international, but also domestic. So that's something that we've been advocating on with the administration, municipality, MPs and MPPs. We go, to Toronto, and we have this lobby week, which we sit down with, municipal and also... Yes, and also federal member of parliaments. We talk to them about the issues, the concerns. We get, we try to get contributions from them to come to the area, look at, because again, like Northern Ontario, Northwestern Ontario is special in
it's
what we have.
Unique. It has unique challenges.
Exactly. Yeah. And, that set aside, we also have issues regarding food insecurity. So we see a lot of students struggle with that. And it all has, based in financial strains and financial problems. But it affects around 80% of our master international students.
Really?
That's not, I wouldn't say 80% of the masters, but 80% of the people who come and use our services for food insecurity are master international students.
You're talking of, only international?
Yes, and the rest are all students who are, so we do have, for example, for food insecurity, we have the FRC, which is the food back on campus, which we, give food to the students. And we've seen a high number of students use that. Close to, I think, 250 or 300 students last month actually used it. Those are the 2 things that we're working on. We are also working on other things, for example, the bus pass, which we give to the students, trying to give opt-out options. Another thing that the student union is working on right now is students' issues, especially parent students with getting spots at, say, daycares and getting their children taken care of, because we have people who go through those issues. But I would say those are the main issues that we're actually advocating and working at right now.
Yeah, those are absolutely very, very integral and critical issues.
Exactly.
Right. What are the projects? Are there any projects, or say, let's say, community-based projects that you're interacting with the community?
Exactly. So we many of our projects has to do with the community, and this is our way of thought that giving to the community will give back to our students and to us at the end of the day. So in collaboration, we do have the bus pass, which we are in collaboration with the city, which I think we are one of the 3 cheapest bus passes in Canada.
So is that what further subsidized by LUSU?
Yes, so it's kind of like a bulk buy, and because we have a negotiation with the city, and we could provide that annual bus pass to the students with I think it's $250 right now. It's going to increase in the years coming, but it's one of the 3 cheapest in the country, which we take pride in. Yes.
And did you have to do a lot of negotiation with that?
Yes, it took a lot, and now we're also in negotiations because a lot of students also want to be able to opt out of the bus pass because they have their cars. So being able to help them as well.
We see that a lot. Yeah, they come and they want to get their wheels.
Exactly, because that helps a lot with many students. And so exactly. And so other than that, we have the health plan, which is covering our students, especially in the medicine side of things, that UHIP doesn't or OHIP doesn't. We've seen a increased amount of students using anti-anxiety and those sort of medication, and we try to help them. Overall, those are the projects that we have in the university and with Lakehead University Student Union.
And I'm sure you will be meeting students who feel homesick, and they're being away from home, and that loneliness, or new surroundings, new everything, culture, landscape, language, weather, etc. How does LUSU, the student union, support our students?
So we do actually, we do actually have events. For example, we have cultural day events where they come, they cook their food. I've had Persians cook Persian food, bringing out to all the students. We invite everyone else and come in and try those food. And other than that, we have for marginalized students, not only internationals, we have really dedicated centers with coordinators. For example, for the queer community, we have the Gender Equity Center. For our Indigenous students, we have Indigenous Resources or Indigenous Student Resource Center, and they have their own, coordinators, people who manage their programs and trying to bring more students in and accommodate them, help them. And we take, pride in that.
Absolutely. Great initiatives and activities run by the Student Union.
Exactly.
On that note, Faraz, we'll take another short break, very short break, and we'll be right back, viewers. Welcome back, viewers. We are in conversation with Faraz in Global Wives, and he's talking to us about LUSU, Lakehead University Student Union. So Faraz, you told me about a lot of community projects that you are involved with, and very proud. I mean, these are making so much impact, and there is, you're contributing so much to the wellness of the students' life, right? Are there any other special projects that you want to mention?
Exactly. So we're a big supporter of the Rock music concert, and the good thing and the benefit that comes from it is, we get students using the money that comes from it, and they get an opportunity to study at Lakehead University through bursaries. And we are also a big supporter of sports. If it's soccer, basketball.
Wonderful.
Exactly. That's the spirit. And we've also helped make that cricket pitch that we have here in Thunder Bay. We supported that, and we put some money towards that, which again, we like inclusivity. We like people to be able to try different sports, not all about hockey, which we love, but we want to have different options and change the face of the city for more inclusive and more diverse city.
Have you tried your hand at the cricket pitch?
I actually did, yes. It was long before because I used to live in India for a few years. And
okay.
Yeah, that was a big time of my life.
Yeah, that's great. Gained a lot of momentum, right? The cricket scene is very active now.
Exactly.
And so is the food scene. You told me about cultural days. That is super interesting. Is it on a very specific day annually? How does that
Yes, we actually do it on a specific day. I think it's in the winter time that we do it. Usually it changes second week of February or in those times. But we again have people in, they cook their foods, and we have foods from all over the globe. And that's amazing. And that helps, keep our students in a better mental image, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's...
Yeah, you talked about mental health and wellness. Are there any services that is provided to our students?
Yeah, so we collaborate with different partner organization in the university for peer support programs.
Okay.
And LUSU is a big part of that. So we think that, and this is my experience as well, people who come from the same or similar backgrounds, they're international students, they're going through the same program, they understand their issues better. So we try to find those peers who are in the same shoes and trying to, help other peers go through tough mental situations.
Very nice, yeah. Is there any project that you are envisioning in the coming days? Is there something that you're working on right now?
So again, we're again in negotiations with Transit right now to get a better deal for our students. What we're looking at as well is a TEDx that is happening on campus, and it's more of what we're envisioning is more of a inside of the university. So we have our clubs day coming in, which is we have around 100 clubs. We fund them.
100
clubs, exactly, and there are different topics. We have robotic clubs, we have, humanitarian clubs, and it's amazing.
And it's all run by students?
It's all run by students.
Who finances them?
So we give them, for example, $200 funding when they start their club and they have 20 members. Then later on, they come and they put in a request. For example, we want to do this event. We need this amount. So through sponsorship, we also give them money. And university has been, open to that as well. They also help. People from the community come as well. So you have Tibet Health, for example, different organizations who are local as well. They help. And so it's been great. It's been great to see all of that.
Fantastic.
And all the clubs.
I mean, just the interactions and the engagement with the community at large, that is impressive as well. How impactful is that, right?
Exactly. It's amazing because, again, we're a smaller part of the bigger community in Thunder Bay. So having those relations, having those collaborations, it's how, people get to know other people. People find jobs, people can contribute, give back to the community, networking.
Yeah.
So again, whatever you give to the community, you get back. So if you're giving good vibes and global vibes, good vibes to the community, you get that back, and we believe in that.
Do you have anything to say to the community? What is it that you expect from the community or the students?
From the students, if I wanted to talk about the LUSU side of things and for running for LUSU, if you're passionate about students, if you, again, love to be part of the student community, if you have that passion, run for it. And it is scary, trust me, Roopa. For some people, it's really scary to be on, and have to talk behind the microphone or talk to the news.
But a lot of skills, yeah? You learn so much, you get so much confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I always say and what I always keep in mind is that if I'm able to help someone, I'm not only responsible for myself, I'm responsible for that person and all the community. So if you have that power and that passion inside you to help, I'm not saying all the students, even a small amount of students, you're responsible for them. So keep that in mind. Don't be afraid. Everyone starts from zero. There's no one's there, at the top and 100. You get to learn. I got to learn a lot from different mentors, from my friends and people who are at the university outside. And it's a great experience, I would say.
Absolutely.
So please don't be afraid. Try to help the community, and the community always gives back.
And for us, what is in store for you once you are in your 4th or 5th month?
Yeah.
From here, what next?
I'd really like to, be in the politics scene. I do enjoy it, to be honest. But I'm an international student. Just came to Canada 2 years ago. So for me, that's a big target. I'm a civil engineer as a profession. So I would like to, continue with my civil engineering, but I don't want to lose touch, sorry, with the community and with leadership as well. So trying to find, opportunities to be active to help the community and also do civil engineering, and hopefully in the future, if I get a position as a politician and try to create a bigger impact, I would be all for it.
Yes. Yeah, we always are looking for, youth leaders, youth champions in the community. And for us, it's all about making that little impact, little or big impact. Exactly. So thank you for what you do through the LUSU platform. But there are so many more. And and I can also relate because the community, Thunder Bay, has given me a lot as well. So I've grown as a person, as an individual, giving back to the community. So I totally agree with you. And thank you for highlighting those. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. And to add to what you said as well, I feel like, I've been here 2 years now, 2.5 years, and I feel like I've got so much, I've learned so much, and community has been a cornerstone of my time over here. So I really appreciate the chance to sit in here and chat. And
thank you. I'm sure our viewers will also be so appreciative of what you do, and just to see our students thriving at Lakehead University. So all the very best, Faraz, for everything that you're going to be doing in the future and with your current projects. All the very, very best. Yeah?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I wish you the best luck with your show, with whatever you're doing. And I'm sure you're doing great. And I've been hearing really good news about you. So I really appreciate that.
So on that very positive note and vibes, we are taking your leave until we meet again. Stay well, take care of yourself, and be warm.